Behind some of the beautiful beaches and clear waters of our islands lurk danger. These islands are either partly inhabited by truly courageous people, or have been abandoned for some strange reasons. Even with their alluring displays of color in the warm sun, these places are to be avoided at all costs. Let's take a tour of the top 20 most dangerous islands around the world. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is dangerous for two reasons: nuclear radiation and shark. It was the site of more than 20 nuclear weapons tests between 1946 and 1958. Although the islands were declared safe in 1997, their original inhabitants declined to return. Eating locally grown produce is not advised. Furthermore, lack of fishing activity in the area during the past 65 years means that sea life, including sharks, has flourished. The abundant fishes, along with numerous shipwrecks in the region, attract hundreds of divers each year. Would you brave man-made threats and natural dangers for a dive? Talk to us at the comments section. This is one of the creepiest places on Earth and in Italy. It is said to witness a number of paranormal activities every day. Poveglia is a tiny island located between Lido and Venice in northern Italy. Some 160,000 victims of plague are believed to have cremated in this 7-hectare piece of land to stop the spread of the disease. It has been said that to this day, human ash makes up more than 50% of the island's soil. This small island in the north of Scotland was used by the British government for biological warfare testing. The oval-shaped Scottish island is approximately 2 kilometers long by 1 kilometer wide and located in Gruinard Bay. Its closest point is 1 kilometer to the mainland. Experiments were carried out on the uninhabited island using the highly virulent anthrax bacterium, which killed hundreds of sheep and forced the island to be quarantined. The land mass was decontaminated in the 1980s using hundreds of tons of formaldehyde, another potentially hazardous material. Stay safe of all the virus as the tour of dangerous islands continue. Found in the Izu Islands of Japan, Miyagijima's most prominent feature is its active volcano, Mount Oyama. The mountain has erupted several times in recent years. Since the 2005 explosion, the volcano has constantly leaked poisonous gas, requiring residents to wear masks at all times. Sirens go off across the island when the levels of sulfur rise sharply. Even with copious amounts of dangerous gas in the air, people still live here. According to the website of the Caribbean Hurricane Network, the tiny island of Saba has been hit by more severe hurricanes in the last 150 years than any other in the region. 15 Category 3 storms and 7 Category 5s have visited the island. It is curiously located very near to the epicenter of hurricanes. Due to these natural calamities, Saba Island turned into a private sanctuary for humans who are as rough as the weather, smugglers and pirates. Measuring just 13 square kilometers, it consists essentially of the top of the dormant Mount Scenery volcano. Between 1946 and 1970, the sea around the Farallon Islands, off the coast of San Francisco, was used as a dumping site for radioactive waste. An estimated 47,500 55-gallon steel drums were discarded there, but their exact location and the risk they pose to the environment is unclear. It's also believed that attempting to remove them would cause more damage than good. There is also an extensive elephant seal population, which attracts scores of great white sharks. Think twice before you go snorkeling at the Farallon Islands. Tsunamis usually occur after an earthquake in a coastal or oceanic region. Hawaii does have earthquakes and records about 1 tsunami a year. A destructive tsunami happens about every 7 years in the island. Post-volcanic eruptions have killed 280,000 people since 1500 in Hawaii's regions. Volcanic gas is often left hanging in the island's air for years. Moreover, getting cancer from the sun is a big risk because the sun is closer to you here than in other parts of the world. It's also because it's so hot in Hawaii that very few clothes are worn. It's one of the most concentrated patches of plastic junk. This North Pacific island is one of the greatest destroyers of sea life in the area. New analysis reveals the region contains as much as 16 times more plastic than previously estimated, with pollution levels increasing exponentially. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is part of the 5 offshore plastic accumulation zones in the world's oceans and is located halfway between Hawaii and California. The garbage patch is created by the North Pacific Gyre. A gyre is a system of circulating currents in an ocean caused by the Coriolis effect. It covers an approximate surface area of 1.6 million square kilometers. This Indian Ocean island is located at one of the most hazardous places, about 150 kilometers southwest of Mauritius. The island is most famous for Piton de la Fournaise. Piton de la Fournaise is more than 500,000 years old and is one of the most active volcanoes in the entire world. There is also an abnormally high concentration of sharks around the island, creating conflict with the island's inhabitants. Surfing and swimming has been outlawed since 2013 due to a string of deadly shark attacks. Basically, you are doomed on land and on water. Threats always seem to attract threats. This dangerous island is situated 20 miles west of Smith Island in the Bay of Bengal. The island contains the last Stone Age tribes that are yet to contact the outside world. The tribes are reported to be quite ferocious in opposing any ships or helicopters approaching the island. This lost tribe has been reported to fire arrows at boats and ships, eventually sinking them or killing their occupants. No outsider has ever successfully landed on this island. In November 1963, Surtsey was formed in a volcanic eruption which heaved it out of the waters 18 kilometers southwest of Heimaey and 32 kilometers to the south coast of Iceland. When the eruption first occurred, columns of ash were sent almost 9,146 meters up. Today, only a few scientists are permitted to land on Surtsey. They have been monitoring the colonization process of new land by plants and animals. The measures in place to protect the island and your lack of a science degree makes this a most dangerous hood to drop by. As the most southwesterly point in Britain, visitors here are in for quite the trip given the fury of the Atlantic. Yes, the waters are rough even on a calm day. It's a small rocky ledge jutting out of the sea, 4 miles west of the Isles of Scilly in Cornwall. The rock rises from a depth of 45 meters to expose a tip 46 meters long by 16 meters wide. On this narrow ledge stands a lighthouse, which makes Bishop Rock the world's smallest island with a building on it, as recognized by the Guinness Book of Records. With a rugged shoreline and a savage sea swell, landings here are quite difficult and require permission from the National Trust. It is said that most people have ascended the Everest then arrived at Boré since 1957. In 1852, 36 of the inhabitants immigrated to Australia and the population decline began. The islanders felt increasingly isolated from the outside world and disliked particularly the lack of regular communication. In 1876, during a period of food shortage, the first St. Kilda mail boat was sent out as a distress signal. At its peak, the island was the most densely populated place on Earth, with over 5,000 people living on 16 acres. In January 1974, Mitsubishi closed the Hashima mines for good. Of course, when the operation ceased, the people left too. In just 3 months, the island cleared out. With nobody left to maintain the structures, many of them collapsed and decayed into rubble over time. All the remaining buildings have been condemned and solo trips are not allowed. You have to be accompanied by someone who knows where not to step. This special place has also been called Kutnuwu, which means Fortress of the Bear. It's the southernmost island in the Arctic archipelago of Svalbard, 640 kilometers north of mainland Europe. It's not open to the public, but you can view it from the water or from the mainland along Shore Road in Manset. As Bear Island lacks good fjords and bays for landing, and as the coastline consists mainly of cliffs and reefs, there's no guarantee for safe landing or docking. Stromboli, a famous island north of Sicily, is one of the most active volcanoes around the world. It is famous for its small but frequent explosions throwing out glowing lava from several vents inside its summit craters. Stromboli is a fully active volcano that is in a constant state of mild activity, punctuated with occasional, larger and more violent eruptions. The most recent violent eruption was in August of 2020. Before that, there were 2 in 2019 and one of them killed a hiker. This crocodile island is famous for a gruesome incident. In 1945, following fighting between British and Japanese troops, an estimated 400 Japanese soldiers were forced to flee into the marshes that surrounded the island. There, they were apparently set upon by the island's sizable population of saltwater crocodiles. According to the Guinness Book of Records, the incident is the greatest disaster suffered by humans from animals. But first, do us a favor. Click that like button to inspire us. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell and you won't miss any interesting videos. Done then? Let's go. Deep in the heart of the canals of Xochimilco, Mexico City's last vestige of the Aztecs, is one of the most haunted and tragic locations, the Island of the Dolls. Here, on this single acre, which houses 3 huts and a crowd of decaying dolls, According to a legend, a young girl drowned entangled among the lilies of the canal. People claim to have heard the girl crying out. Locals swear they see ghosts and hear shadows talking. It is, they believe, cursed. The dolls are still on the island, which is accessible only by boat. It lies at the mouth of the Swale, opposite the town of Queensborough on the Isle of Sheppey off the North Kent coast. This island is completely out of bounds to the public. The Inside Out team was only allowed to visit by the leaseholder and because it was not the bird breeding season. It holds remains believed to be those of men and boys who died of contagious diseases on board floating prisons. The remains were moored off the Isle of Sheppey more than 200 years ago. This island's name may be telling, but you can't always spot danger from the labels. Nicknamed Snake Island, this one lies off the coast of Brazil and is home to thousands of Golden Lancehead Vipers. The snakes are also among the world's most venomous. According to legend, there is approximately 5 of the slithering critters to every square meter. For years, the only human inhabitant was a lighthouse keeper, but now the Brazilian Navy has banned all civilians from the island. It is administered as part of the municipality Itanhaém in the state of São Paulo. The island is small in size, only 43 hectares, and has a temperate climate. Which one shocked you the most? How can we make our environment safer? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Like always, if you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comment section. To keep up to date with all of our awesome videos, be sure to hit subscribe and turn your notifications on to never miss a thing. Until next time, do take care of yourself.